Hi everyone, I'm Omar and I'm going to be walking through the new PM CDF checking template that we've put together as part of the CDF working group. Now, first thing that I'll call out is that we've migrated the template from a spreadsheet into a Google Doc, as we've heard feedback that this might make check-ins much easier and collecting this feedback. So what you'll see in the template when you open it up is that at the top we have a summary section where you can, after each one of your check-ins, just summarize how are you as a PM doing in each one of the competency areas. So developing, performing, exceeding. This is something that will be a key part of your check-in discussion with your manager, and then this is a good way to summarize it and track it over time. Now, for each one of the reviews, what we have is a section where you put the date of the review, and then for each competency area, you can do both a self-review and a manager review, and that's basically just developing, performing, and exceeding for each one of them. And below that, you can put all of your write-up, the notes around what have you been doing that demonstrate this competency at the level that you're choosing. The manager will do the same thing. Just write up what have they observed and how does that then match his expectation. The way in which I like to do this in my manager review so far has been to take the language from our CDF framework. So if I come over to our CDF framework, I can look at a specific level. Let's take the intermediate PM level. And a competency, so product roadmap and product-led growth. What I like to do is take this language that is here, copy it over into my manager review, and then use that as the basis when I start writing my notes. So I can directly look at what does our CDF say the expectations are, and then evaluate, have I been seeing this? In your self-review, you can do the same thing. Just look at the language in the CDF and see how have I demonstrated, how have I showcased this competency. And I do that at the sentence level. So for each one of these sections, I like to give feedback. Am I seeing this person showcasing that they're adept at setting product direction? You understand me? So I do the same for each one of the competencies as part of the review. Now, in the actual check-in with the PM, what we like to focus on then is what do we each think when we were evaluating the PM for that competency, and in particular focus on what were their discrepancies. Maybe I thought that they were performing better or worse than what they self-reviewed, because that's really a great part of the check-in discussion. As we discuss that, we may reassess the level that we've rated that particular competency on, and then we also come up with some action items. What are some things that we want to see in the individual growth plan as a response to the discussion that we've had? So we do that for each one of the competency areas. You'll see here the sense of mechanisms, thought leadership, and aligning teams with values. It's all in here. And we've also included a section in the template for mid-year check-in questions. You can link through to the mid-year check-in, what it is. It's just a way to make sure that when we are at a time to do mid-year check-ins, that you have a prompt and a place to write down the questions. Now, at the bottom of the template, I have a few suggestions on how to use the template. Feel free to review, provide feedback, and we can continue to iterate on this. But one of the things that I find helpful is to do the manager review and have the individual complete their self-review about 24 hours at least ahead of the CDF check-in, and give each other an opportunity to read through the entire feedback or the self-review ahead of the discussion. So that way when we walk into the meeting and we start discussing we do the check-in, we can just focus on what were the highlights, where are the things that we really want to discuss, focus on both highlights and opportunities for development, and what were the things that were our review was different, because those are the most interesting conversation areas. Now, once we've completed that and documented the action items, I like to then go up again and update this table so that you can start seeing over time populating how this is evolving. And then, one follow-up item is to then take the action items that you've agreed to in here and migrate it to whatever system will work best for you to keep an eye on them throughout the quarter before your next check-in, whether that is migrating into your one-on-one agenda, into an individual growth plan, into issues in GitLab, any other option that you have. Now, this is a quick walkthrough. It's a pretty straightforward template, so please give me feedback if anything seems unclear, and we'll be happy to revise and upgrade. Thank you so much.